Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Chris and Amanda Show. We are back with an all-new live show for all of you on this wonderful, fine Monday morning, very close to the end of summer, the official end of summer.
Yep.
We had the unofficial end of summer a couple weeks ago, but
Yep.
we are now getting close to the official end of summer. So we're quickly running out of we're quickly running out of time.
There's never enough time.
Never enough time.
So full Jesse Spano there.
Right, exactly. But we are going to be heading into the fall, which means, of course, Amanda and I have lots of ideas as we head into the fall and then ultimately the holiday season, which, if you're an avid listener of the show, then you know that, this is our favorite time of the year, just not season, but also musically.
Mm-hmm. Expect some Halloween episodes coming up.
Oh, yeah.
We really couldn't quite land on a Thanksgiving version, but we might try this year.
Yeah.
And be ready for Christmas because that's the whole month of December, baby. Woo!
That is right. Last year we had a lot of great holiday-inspired songs. Shows. We had some trivia going on. It was a lot of fun. So we will definitely have some nice plans for you all to tune in and listen to and have fun with us as the rest of the year goes on. We want to welcome you all to the show. If this is your first time listening to the Chris and Amanda Show, well then thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your time with us as we go through our music reviews. And Amanda Sharp, I gotta let you know. So I was just recently looking at our stats, right? And so behind the scenes, under the hood, one of our most listened to episodes, most downloaded episodes of 2022. Can you guess? Do you know what it is? I don't know if you've looked at our stats recently.
It should come at no surprise to any of our listeners. I am not the stat person.
Okay.
I'm the let's do this idea person.
Right. Well, this was one of your ideas.
I feel like Stranger Things could definitely be up there. Maybe Disney too.
Okay, so Stranger Things up there. Disney is by far our most downloaded episode.
Are you
Yep, our top Disney songs episode is by far our most downloaded episode of 2022 so far, claiming the number one spot of our most popular episode of 2022. So that means there may be a lot of new listeners coming to the show thinking, wow, do we talk about Disney stuff all the time? And we don't. But we do a lot of theme shows.
Yeah.
But knowing that you all liked the Disney stuff, that lets us know that maybe you want to hear some more about Disney stuff or things along those lines. So that gives us a great indication and good feedback as to what folks are really liking out there when we talk about these songs. So, Amanda, for any first-time listeners out there, would you like to give everybody a quick rundown on how our lovely little show works?
Chris, I would love to. Well, traditionally, how our show works is Chris sends me 3 songs. I send Chris 3 songs, and we rate them on a very complicated scale of 1 to 5 records. 1 being it is a dumpster fire, and
Fire!
A fire, not like a cool fire like hellfire. No, like
no
dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire, smelly. Dumpster fire.
Yeah, you walk past the dumpster and you're like, oh, something sour.
That smell, and it's on fire. Oh, gross.
People can taste the dumpster fire we're referring to right now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's number 1. All the way up to 5 records, which is angels singing. Just, it makes you feel good, peaceful, all the things.
It either has become our new favorite song or it's just a favorite in general. So it will not leave our ears. It'll be added to multiple playlists.
Absolutely. And this show, I don't think we've said this a whole lot, like at the beginning, is not to be cruel. It's not to make fun of people. It is strictly like we digest the list that we're given and we thoughtfully give our reviews. And sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not, but it's never from a place of being mean.
No, not at all. I mean, listen, music is subjective. It's art.
Yep.
And the whole point of the show is that we're exposing each other to things that we may or may not like, but hey, that's the fun of it. So, but yeah, we were always respectful to the musicians who we talk to, or talk about. We wish we talked to them. That would be fun if
I
we had
know.
more musician friends. We have
That
a
made
few
us sound
musician
like we are
friends.
huge.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this past weekend when we were talking to Motley Crue. No.
Yeah, when we were hanging out with
know?
the guys from Motley Crue, they opened up to us and really talked to us about the real meaning of what
Absolutely.
Live Wire really meant for them.
James Taylor said when he wrote Something in the Way She Moves.
Yes.
All the
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah, when we were hanging out drinking wine and cheese, he just totally spilled his guts.
One day.
One day, one can only hope. One can only hope. So, we once again we do want to welcome everybody to the show. We do have a hotline, the Chris and Amanda Show hotline. You can give us a call at 973-506-8009, 973-506-8009. And if you're calling outside of United States, make sure you hit that +1 for the country code. Please feel free to leave us a voicemail there and we will play it on the show. Let us know. Do you agree? Do you disagree with what we are talking about? What song should we be talking, or songs should we be talking about that we've missed? Add it to the list, or let us know if you like the show or not like the show. Whatever it is, we want to hear your feedback. Feel free to drop us a voicemail there and we will play it on the show, good or bad.
Yeah.
Try to watch the obscenities, but we will bleep them out because this is a family show. It's got we know there's families that listen together, which is good.
Yes.
So yeah, so leave us a voicemail there. All right, so Amanda Sharp, we're back after a little break here, and we've got quite a list that we shared with one another, and you definitely the unexpected turn for me.
It
Wow.
took a year and a half, but it
Holy
happened.
smokes.
It happened. And I'm so excited that it ended up on the list. And I can't wait to tell you how it ended up on my list when we
I
get
really
there.
want to know how it ended. I got to hear the story behind this.
But Chris, what songs did I send you this week that the
All
middle
right.
one being the biggest surprise to you?
Yeah. Okay. So here it is. So the songs you sent to me this week was Something in the Way She Moves by James Taylor.
Mm.
Very, very much an Amanda type song. All right. Then you sent me, I'm going to lead up to this one, but then you sent me another very Amanda song, which is A Sound of Silence by Pentatonix.
Which had already made an
Pentatonix.
appearance on it,
Yes.
just a different version.
Right. Which I totally misspelled on our Instagram account, by the way. I realized that I was like,
okay.
oh.
It's a complicated word.
I did the proper version of pentatonic. Well, they're with the X, the Pentatonix. Yeah. So, but then the surprise entry from you this week was God Was Never on Your Side by Motorhead. I was like, Amanda Sharp sending me a Motorhead song?
Yeah, I did.
I got to hear. And not only that, but like it's kind of a bit of a cut. Like it's a little bit of a deep cut of a tune. Like
it's a heavy song.
It's a heavy song. And I was like, I have to hear how you came upon this song. I can't wait to hear the story about this.
Hey,
so
we take a little
those
break
are your
and
three
then it comes
songs.
back with Motorhead. I mean, whatever.
It's what happens. I'm like, did you get hit in the head? I don't know.
I mean, it's the cold.
Yeah.
And Chris's songs to me this week were Mariana by Ghost, which if you've been following our Instagram and our socials, this was kind of on the radar. So I wasn't super surprised when it made an appearance.
Yeah, I was like, all right, it's going to be on this week's list.
It's going to be on the list. Your second song to me was Love Bomb Baby by Tigertailz.
Sales
Z at the end. And then your third was Livewire by a Motley Crue.
A Motley Crue. So real quick, so for people who watch the live show, you can check in. So right now we have Mark Ronick checking in. What's the theme or topic for these songs? Well, Mark, that's a wonderful question. And quite frankly, sometimes it's just I just want to kind of see the theme is what kind of reaction can I get out of Amanda Sharp?
Yeah. This week I had no theme.
Yeah, no, there wasn't really a theme this week, as opposed to sometimes I just hear things and I'm like, I want Amanda to hear it. I knew Ghost was going to be on the list because Ghost has been trending recently on TikTok with this song. So, and I did make a little video about the little story about that song. So I was like, I really want to get that on, but then it just led me down like, but then I want to give her like some like 80s metal stuff. So I'm giving her Tigertailz and Motley Crue.
Tigertailz.
Tigertailz.
And the science too, when we don't have a theme, how Amanda does her songs is I'll be working. I have my Pandora, my Spotify on, and I'll hear a song and I go, and I screenshot it, and that's how I save it for the show. It's very advanced, let me tell you.
It's a very advanced process, which I am not privy to. So I have no idea the magic that happens when Amanda picks songs. I know it's a very complicated formula and process and system, and I've never seen it, and I really want the mystery to remain a mystery because I have it in my head how it goes, and I kind of want it to stay there because I feel like it's just amazing. So I don't ever want to know really how you do it. I just
It's
want the thing in my head to be the reality.
Spotify has done amazing things to get in my head. Chris is like, I'm safer outside the head of Amanda.
I
Oh,
always picture, I think I said this before, I always picture like Amanda, like this was how I originally, I was like, this is how I kind of figure out how Amanda thinks about songs, is like kind of like one of those murder boards where like they're trying to solve a murder and
yes.
it's like the pins and they're trying to do the strings and the connections and all that. So it's kind of how I want to I kind of envision that with like your process of finding songs.
And it's so true because sometimes the story in witches that are told from the songs sometimes do have such a weird
Yeah,
string.
they do.
That's a best way of describing it.
That
Well
is a good
done,
way of
Chris.
describing it. Yes. So, all right. So let's get into it. Let's start talking about some music
Do
here.
this.
So who wants to go first?
I'll go ahead and dive right into Mariana Cross by Ghost.
Dive into Mariana Cross.
And it was referenced before, but Chris did an excellent TikTok on this. So if you haven't already went to our TikTok channel, please do engage with engage with us there. We're trying to grow things. So
What's
I
right?
don't want to say we're professional beggars, but we are. I mean, we'd be sinning if we weren't telling the truth here. So
Yeah,
just
exactly.
go over there, give us a follow, give us a like, and shake us a comment if you have time.
That's right. Over at the Chris and Amanda Show.
The Chris and Amanda Show over on TikTok. I would say so. I had not heard this song before you kind of threw light into it on our socials. And even then, I didn't take the time to actually listen to the song outside of the things being over top of it. Right. So I
Right.
just heard it gently in the background, but I was mostly focusing on what you were saying or the other things that were going around on social about it. So this actually allowed me to really listen to it. And I really love the start. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great start.
Oh yeah.
And the lyrics are fantastic.
Right. So I wasn't sure what you were going to think about the lyrics.
And the thing is, when you look at Ghost,
right,
you wouldn't think that they're going to sing like this.
Well, I mean, and once again, yes, because I've had you listen to Ghost before, and you were like, and you're like, wait a second, is this even the same band? It's like that's the I find that to be one of the most amazing things about them.
And I that's fair because I feel like the song "God Was Never on Your Side" by Motorhead had the same feeling compared to some of their other songs.
Right.
So I really liked the lyrics. I liked the song. I really love that it really showcased their vocals.
Yeah.
And especially at the end, there's this very gentle singing.
Right. Yeah.
I think gentle is the best way to explain it.
Yeah.
I just love the vocals. So I gotta say, I'm into the hype of this now. I'm into this hype.
You're into the hype.
I'm into the hype. Maybe not into Ghost, but I'm into the hype of Mariana Cross. I'm gonna, there's a lot of there's head bopping to this.
It's very 60s sounding to me, very late 60s, early 70s, feel to it.
It's chill, but not.
Yeah.
It's heavy, but not too heavy. So with all of those things,
right.
4 records.
4 records from Mariana Cross. Wow.
By Ghost.
By Ghost.
Ghost getting 4 records.
Ghost
right
getting
out of
4
the gate.
records. I love it. So it's crazy that this song has got, I mean, it's once again, right? This is the way of our world now, right? Where music, one of the number 1 discovery platforms for new music is TikTok. And this song was released in 2019. And it was a B-side to an EP that they put out in between records. It was called 7 Inches of Satanic Panic. And they had, and the whole record is kind of this very psychedelic-y, like 60s themed, like record, even the front cover with sort of like that like acid trip kind of feel.
Mhm.
So it's the whole EP's got this, and Mariana Cross was one of these songs. It was on there. It wasn't, it was just featured on the EP. And that was it. The EP was released and that's kind of it. And then they put out their other than they had two records that have come out between that. But as I was saying in my TikTok video, is that the song has been trending now for a little bit. The last month of August, basically, kind of has blown up, and it's been on the viral charts. And it's really due to the fact of, once again, sort of the Stranger Things type of adjacent, is that
Yeah.
someone made a video of like sort of like this whole greatest hits of Stranger Things and used Mariana Cross as but then they did they actually remixed it themselves. They did like a slowed down version with like heavier reverb, and that's what they were using of Mariana Cross, and it just blew up. It went nuts, and so much so that then Ghost re-released a version of Mariana Cross with a slowed down. They basically did a version like what the person remixed, slowed down, heavy reverb version of Mariana Cross. They just released it like a week or so ago, like on
Which
Spotify.
is just smart on their part.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant marketing. But once again, look, I love it because it just shows a direct correlation of like the influence of like how TikTok has, where like they do this, it becomes big. The artist listening goes, hey, you know what? Obviously, people like this. They like the music. Let's do something. I like that they're having fun with it. So let's do a
And
version like that. I love
yeah,
it.
I love that they didn't like go, "Oh, I didn't like that they played around with our music and did
Right.
something." Like, they just embraced it and said like, they
Yeah.
would have been fools to get annoyed by it. Instead,
Yeah.
they embraced it and boom. And this song sounds so much older, or Mariana Cross, I should say, sounds so
Yeah.
much older than 2019.
I know exactly. It,
It
like I said, it
has that
sounds like
feel.
something that could have came out of the '60s to me. So,
I love it.
um, I
It's
mean,
very good.
I'm a huge Ghost fan, and I know
Mhm.
they're very very divisive band as far as the metal community goes.
Sure,
But
sure.
who cares? People need. Hey, everybody out there, please relax.
And well,
Ha-
hey,
Have
who cares?
fun. Will you? Will you just have fun? It's just music. Have a good time. Will you?
Oh,
Crying
Mariana
out loud.
Cross making me a rocker.
That's right. That's right. Mariana Cross. Love it.
So it's getting that new blood into the
Right.
genre.
I love your 4 records.
Yeah, I don't think it's a 5 record. Like, I don't know if it ever would become a 5 record because
Yeah, you know what? And
it's
I agree with that.
it's not a hit necessarily. It's
Right.
just a solid song.
It's not my favorite Ghost song that they've ever. In fact, honestly, like it was the B-side. I liked it, but I never really have gone back and really listened to it. I actually
Sure.
like the first song on there on that EP a much better. Kiss the Goat. I think it's hilarious. It's great, and it's even more 60s vibe sounding.
It's the GOAT.
Yeah, it's so, and like all that satanic stuff, it's just so funny. It's just great. Like you gotta laugh at it. It's such whatever.
They
So anyway,
they're amazing at their brand.
they really are.
They stay on brand. They're
They
good
are a
at that.
master class of branding as far as a band goes. So
Absolutely. Agreed.
everybody take note. So all right. So enough about Ghost. So your song to me, one of your first song to me was Something in the Way She Moves
Mm.
by James Taylor.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm,
I know this
mhm.
song. I grew up listening to James Taylor.
Oh god. Ooch.
I've said this many times. Like I grew up listening to a lot of this music through my parents.
Yeah.
So I've always been exposed to the classics, and and I love it. And James Taylor is one of those artists that I truly love. His voice is like a warm blanket to me. It's like,
Oh, so
what I'm saying?
good.
It's just you hear it and you're like, ah, it's James Taylor. I
It
love this.
it lets your, like, sorrows just melt off you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Mm,
and the guy is just such a wonderful, amazing songwriter, an underrated guitar player, all of it.
mm.
So,
Yes.
um, but and I always knew that the song was sort of inspired by the Beatles. But I was like, oh, how did this even come about, though? Like, I mean, listen, everybody's inspired by the Beatles, but this song came out in
Right.
1968, actually, off of James Taylor's record, the self-titled record. He told Rolling Stone, this was coming from
Mm.
songfacts.com, is he told Rolling Stone that the song is about an early girlfriend and the calm you feel in the presence of someone who knows you really well. Um, and he was saying that the song was inspired by George Harris. Was this is the song that inspired George Harrison to write the Beatles' 1969 hit Something, which used Something in the Way She Moves as the first line. So I had always thought it was the other way around, but it wasn't. It was actually George Harrison was inspired by this song. I did not know that.
Very interesting.
I always thought it was he had heard something, but I guess it makes sense because this song was released in 68 and Something wasn't released till 1969. Isn't that crazy? So basically at that time, James Taylor had signed to the Beatles label, Apple Records. And after his demo tape got the attention of Peter Asher, who was a longtime associate and also brother of Paul McCartney's girlfriend, Jane Asher, Asher arranged for Taylor to audition for McCartney and George Harrison, where he played them this song. They decided to sign Taylor to Apple and have Asher produce his first record.
Oh, gosh, so good. He is.
Isn't that great?
And I think this song captures what he was after. There is something in when you're so comfortable with somebody.
It's so great. And it's like, can you imagine auditioning for can you imagine that? Like,
no, he's so good. Oh,
I mean, you're that good. I mean, I would love to hear that. Like, I'd love to hear an interview where he talks about having to do that. Like, I mean, I mean, you're auditioning for two of the Beatles to be on their record label. Like, crazy.
Just the fact that you even are good enough to have an opportunity to audition.
Yeah, just unreal. So so this is to me, this is a classic James Taylor song. It's on the Greatest Hits record, which I do have on vinyl. So it is a classic hit. I wouldn't consider it though a perfect. I mean, it's such a good song. It's hard for me to give it 5 records, so to speak. So, but I'm very, very comfortable giving it 4.5 records.
Ooh,
that I'm very comfortable with. So, and you can say, well, what puts it over the top? I don't know. Like when I hear like Fire and Rain, like that's a 5 record song to me.
Sure,
like, you know, like some of those other, and of course anything he did with Carole King and all that. But like, great song though. 4.5 records for me.
I love it. And we took my mom to one of his concerts, and it was
really?
one of her. It might have been her only concert she's ever went to, and it was DTE, and it was outside, and she was just like, "Bravo!" So cute. He's so good live.
That is awesome. Yeah, I've never seen him live, so he's somebody I definitely have to go see live before it's too late.
Oh, so good, so good. I take your 4.5 records. Thank you for that.
You are welcome. You are welcome.
All right, moving on to number 2 from Chris Baguillo to me, Love Bomb Baby.
Away!
It's just like, all right. So I'm really conflicted with it. I'm just going to jump right kind of to my scoring because I'm like, it's like how we started our show. Like we just went right out of the gates.
Right. It's like, we're going to give you the chorus right from the gate.
And that's what we did with this show. We just we're like, it's just going to work. And we did it. And and so I feel like this song just felt like that to me. But it's not necessarily like a 4 record.
No.
It's so good. So I have it down as 3.5 because I enjoy it so much.
Right.
But I don't want to say that 3.5 isn't because I don't really like it, because I do.
Right.
It's super fun.
It's such a fun song.
It kind of makes me think of Cherry Bomb.
Yeah. Yeah.
In that same fun.
Yeah.
That feel. And so there's a whistle at the beginning and then there's the boom and
the whole thing.
The chorus is great. It is a very short song, so I think there's a benefit to the short song when it needs to be short.
Yeah, I think it doesn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah, I've sung the song I'm supposed to sing, and boom.
That's it.
Just done. And so I dug it. I really dug it. I had never heard it before. Super fun. So Tigertailz.
So
coming in at 3.5.
So if I asked you what year was this song recorded and released, what would you think? Guess.
I would say 80s, but because you're asking me, I feel like I'm gonna be shocked.
You're gonna be shocked. It was recorded and released in 2006.
Really?
Off the record, Berserk.
Berserk. Tigertailz record Berserk.
Yeah. So, all right. So you know what? I should probably preface this by like, okay, so it was actually originally released in the 80s, but then re-released again and kind of re-recorded in 2007. So the version there's like sort of the same version, just kind of redone. Like, it's hard to say. So this band I did not know about at all until very recently. So they're from Welsh. They're from Cardiff, Welsh. They're a Welsh band. I'd never heard of them before, ever. Never. I had no idea who the hell Tigertailz was. I thought it was another band that I was kind of into.
Sure.
I had heard it because this song is featured heavily in the show Peacemaker on HBO, which starring John Cena, which is hilarious. And if you haven't seen it, you got it. It's absolutely hilarious. It's definitely not for the kiddies at all, but it's like cartoonish, violently funny. Like, it's that. And his character, John Cena's character, is like in love with like 80s like pop metal and hard rock, everything. Like the London Choir Boys. Remember, I give you London Choir Boys. And they play a lot of the soundtrack is littered. Like, he even does like a version where he plays and sings "Home Sweet Home." It's great.
Oh, fun.
But this song was in there, and I thought this was another band completely. I was like, oh my god, this must be this band. Nope. Tigertailz, never heard them. Now I'm obsessed with this record, and this song is great. And they play it, and they played a couple other Tigertailz songs in the show as well. But this song's great. This song screams a good time.
When you say it's from early 2000s, I guess that makes sense because it sounds cleaned up, not so 80s.
Yeah, it's definitely a little more produced sounding. But it's not too far off from the original version. I think the big difference is I think there's just some different guys like in the band and stuff like that. So I don't know. A lot of these bands, they break up, they revolve members, all that. But Love Bomb Baby, man, what a tune, huh?
Super fun. Super. I mean, I appreciated the no nonsense. Boom, there it was.
There it is. It starts with the chorus.
I appreciated it. So 3.5. Yeah. No disrespect to him by that rating. It's just what the song is.
Yeah. No, listen, I love it. I accept your rating. I think that's pretty on par with what my rating would be too, to be honest.
Awesome.
Like,
that makes me feel good.
Because I don't think it's an amazing, it's not like this, it's not a 4 or 5, but it is a fun song that like you put it on and everybody's like, what is this? It's like, this is rocking.
Very content.
Yeah. You have to watch the music video too.
I will.
It's everything you think it would be.
Perfect.
Yeah, we have to get back to doing some of that music video stuff again. Yeah. All right. So your next song to me. So do you want me to? So I'm going to ask you this: do you want me to do Motorhead next, or do you want me to do Pentatonix next?
Go ahead and do Motorhead. Go ahead.
Right, so
just in case any listeners had to jet.
So if nobody's ever heard this version of this song,
how about Motorhead?
This is Motorhead. Oh. God Was Never on Your Side.
So
I mean, I don't think anybody would expect this to be Motorhead.
No, isn't this like Johnny Cash's kind of?
Just so Johnny Cash, and Lemmy was a huge Johnny Cash fan.
It's that storytelling sound, the thoughtful.
Yep.
Oh, so good, and then it goes into that.
I love that you love this song. I love that you found this song. So I have to hear the story, Amanda. How did you land on this song?
All right. So let me set up the whole process.
Set it up.
The whole process is this. Amanda goes to sleep very early. We all know this. I fall asleep usually on the couch with Billy. My eyes start dozing off around 8. If you're a listener here, you know I love Supernatural. Season 14 at one of the end of the episodes when God basically really screws them.
That show is 14 episodes long?
15 seasons.
15 seasons. I mean episodes. Yeah. Seasons?
So 14. Wow. I think it's the 14th episode. 14th season. When on like one of the very last like episodes. Right. He basically really screws them. And this is that song at the end of them having to just kind of deal. It's the cliffhanger. The cliffhanger.
And
when I was basically asleep and I heard it come on and I rolled over and I put one eye open. I was like, what is this? And I was like, I love this. And it just kept going. And so with one eye open, Chris Baglio, I am Googling
You got to Shazam. You got to Shazam it.
well, that would have been too simple. I was tired and I wasn't thinking right. So what I Googling instead.
Google what is song on Supernatural episode 14, season 15, when Guy screws over everybody.
I'm I'm Googling it and I was shocked that it was Motorhead.
Wow.
I was shocked. And so it was a dramatic way how it ended up on my list because I'm so ridiculous, but it just was so perfect in that moment of that episode. It's a great song.
Yeah, it's actually really, I mean, it is a very good song, and it's so like uncharacteristic for Lemmy, but I love because it does showcase like how talented Lemmy really
Yes.
is. And a lot of people take Lemmy for granted, took him for granted, but like, you know, everybody who kind of like Lemmy is an extremely talented guy who, like, you know, listen, he was through and through. He was the embodiment of rock and roll. Like, and like he lived it. He lived it like he sang it, you know, like he was the real deal for sure. Love him or hate him, that's what he was. He was always pretty much he was 100% authentic Lemmy. Um and he with this record, this song in particular, this was basically his kind of swipe at organized religion. You know, Lemmy, they're saying, you know, Lemmy, according to songfacts.com, Lemmy was an agnostic rather than atheist. As antipathy, I forgot it. I'm not even going to say
That word.
but he had said that it was not a song about himself. It was just he was sending out a message. Basically, this record too had some other great band members who were also in there: Phil Campbell and Mickey D, and CC DeVille from Poison fame plays the solo on this song. So this is one of these sort of songs where, you know, Lemmy's always been good with sort of that doomish like lyric
Yeah.
writing. So this is one of these that show. But I love that he wrote this song. It's great. It's a great song. You would think like, oh, is this a cover of something? But no, it is a Lemmy song.
It's so good. I really thought if Johnny Cash would have got his hands on it, he would have did his own version of it.
Probably.
Which he had done before. He does versions of other people's songs.
Yeah, he's done them. He's done them. I mean, you know, Nine Inch Nails and many others. So yeah, I would have definitely have heard the Man in Black doing this one for sure.
Yeah. So it woke me from a near deep sleep.
From a near slumber.
I'm so dramatic. So what is your rating on this fabulous song? I feel like I should have been giving the rating. I was like, no, this is my song, Amanda.
No, I wanted to hear the story about how you found this song. So it was a great story. So I give this a 3.5. It's a well-written song. It's great. Not one of my favorite Motorhead tunes, but still great. Sure. I mean, it's a well-done song. So I give it a 3.5. Maybe, you know what? I'd probably even bump it up to a 3.8 now that I'm saying it out loud. I think it's 3.8. Just shy of being a 4.
I like that.
But I think more respectable than being a 3.5. So 3.8 is where I think I would slot that.
I accept your 3.8 on a song that typically may have come from Chris.
Right. Exactly. So
this is the first for our show.
It is a first. I can't believe you gave me a Motorhead song. So, all right. So moving right along.
All right. So your last song to me, Chris, Live Wire by Motley Crue.
Yes.
Catchy beginning. Mm-hmm. Not my favorite Motley Crue. I struggle with that word so much. This song, like super, like good. That's good. Like it pumps you up. The lyrics are fun. Like it's okay. So I would say okay.
You and I have to watch the video of this together.
I think this song exhausts my brain.
Why?
This is a little much for me. It seems very like all over the place. There's, especially towards the end, there are so many layers of things happening. So like I can get about halfway through the song and then the tail end of it, like
Right.
It's almost like they keep putting a different layer on top of a different layer and a different layer of, and all of these elements are like playing, and
Mhm.
it's like I don't know, my brain doesn't know where it needs to be.
Right.
So it was hard for me.
Okay, interesting.
But I didn't hate it.
That's an interesting take on this song. I would have never
Like, and it's just towards the end. Like if you listen to it again, and like I don't know how to explain it as good as probably what you would be able to do, but it just seemed
Right.
like there was a lot of stuff at the end of it.
Well, it speeds up.
And but
And
it was
like
like they added like a different type of music to it. I don't know. So on a certain day I would skip it.
It's the end.
It's so much.
Those pauses are the best.
The pauses are fantastic. So I guess it depends on how, like on certain days I might skip it just if my
Okay.
brain can't handle it. Other days I would probably listen to it if I'm feeling like a little edgy and fun.
I
But
hope Marcus is listening to the show because if he really wants to get under your skin, he'll just play Livewire.
he's like,
If he wants to
Chris,
press your buttons.
he's gonna send you a message. Chris, Livewire is going on. You know what that means.
Thank you so much, Chris. I've now made the Amanda Sharp the
Nails on the
playlist I play in the
chalkboard.
house that drives Amanda crazy. But he wants to get you out of the house. I'm just gonna listen to this playlist.
There you go. There you go. And I'm out. I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm getting in the
He's
car
like-
and listening to some Carpenters.
Mission accomplished.
Ah, so 3 records. 3 records. It's not
All right.
terrible. I mean,
Right.
it's really not bad. I just would have
Right.
to caution when I listen to it.
Right. Okay. All right. All right. Respectable. Yeah, this is the first song off their first record. And Livewire. Livewire they used to play this on MTV so much back in the day, like in the 80s when I mean, and it's such a to me, it's such an 80s music video that looks like it was
Sure.
shot on like TV camera. Like we have to watch this because it's an amazing music video. And it's not even great, but it's great.
It's not even great, but it's great.
Right. It's great in other ways.
It's great for reasons. Yes.
It is. It is. There's reasons why. So, all right. So
Love
3
it.
records for Livewire by Motley Crue. All right. So your next song for me. All right. So listen, I love The Sound of Silence. All right. It's a great song. I mean, it's a great song. There's many bands who have covered this song, many musicians.
Zero music.
We did the Disturbed version early on in the show, and I was like, and I know that was a big hit for those guys. I can't stand that band. I can't stand that guy's voice. I can't remember what I gave on that, but I think because it's The Sound of Silence, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
So the song is great. Like The Sound of Silence is great. What I can't get over is, and I know Pentatonix is huge. I get it. And believe me, I mean, I can't sing a note of anything. So insanely talented. I respect it 100%. But man, I cannot get into the acapella stuff.
Really?
It's you know what it is? I
that.
love Pitch Perfect. Movie's great. I think it's hilarious. I love what they do on that movie, in those movies. I think it's great. I love it. I love them all. Especially number 1 and number 2. But there's just something about this, man. I don't know. I get it. I respect it. I just isn't not for me. Like there's something that I just can't get over.
And this is why we do this show, because I didn't know that about you.
Well, it's I don't know. It just has to hit me. I mean, and it's like.
So what about their Christmas music? Is that more?
It's
is
okay.
That better than this?
It reminds me of shopping in Target during the holidays when I hear it. It kind of gets me like, I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't give me the same warm, fuzzy feels as like when I hear the Carpenter's Christmas record.
That is fair.
It's just not. It's not the same for me. And once again, I respect what they do. I think they're amazing. I think I could never do what they do. They are insanely talented to be able to make the sounds they can make. So this is no cut on them at all. I just can't get into it.
So now I think you may have ruined it a little bit for me.
But the song it's a great song. So what I want to do is I want to rate this on the merits of their cover version of this song.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm gonna look at it from that
I
standpoint.
like that. Okay.
All right.
That's
So
good.
I
That's
don't
good.
want to rate Pentatonix as a band or anything
Because
like that.
they're talented. You
Right.
know that. Yes,
Yeah.
you said
So I'm
that.
gonna rate this on, was this a good cover version of Sound of Silence? And I'm
Okay.
gonna say yes,
Okay.
it was a very good cover version of Sound of Silence.
I think that's a fair way
I
of
think it's
rating.
very good. They didn't rearrange the song too much. I like that they injected their what they do into it. So I think it's a good version of this song. So I would give it 3.5 records.
Oh, so even 3.5.
So
That's
even though I'm not a
okay.
fan of Pentatonix, the song is good and they do a really great cover doing what they do. 3.5 records. That's
I
my review.
really I feel like you kinda ruined them for me. Because you know
Why?
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 Because, like, when you're saying it doesn't have the warm and fuzzies, like, so when I was listening to them for, like, Christmas, like, I feel now what you're saying, like, it almost is very mechanical for a Christmas song
Because they have to be, because of the way
because
they sing is so,
it precise.
has to be. Otherwise it
And
sounds like garbage.
so now I'm not gonna be able to listen to them the same.
Well, I didn't want to ruin Christmas for you.
No, 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 but I mean, I will categorize it as, like, here's talent, here's what I'm gonna play on Christmas morning.
Christmas music for me is all about the emotion.
Yeah, the feeling, the nostalgia.
It's
So,
all
yeah,
about
I
that.
mean,
If
I
I can't
I'm
get that, then I just and we will do, believe me, everybody,
oh,
we will do plenty of holiday episodes where
let
Amanda and I
friend.
will do deep dives into that various holiday songs. So don't you worry.
Don't you worry. This is something for me to digest.
Something
See,
for you to consider.
again, another amazing reason why we do this show, and we
Right.
walk away learning something every single episode, and we hope you do too.
We hope you do too. We hope you have as much fun as we do doing the show, listening to it as much as we do doing it.
Beyond the successful Disney show that we did.
Right, which is like, more. When are you guys going to talk more Disney show stuff? What is it, this Motorhead and stuff? I want more Disney stuff. All right, we've heard you. We'll do another Disney. It'll happen.
Our people have spoken.
Yes, our people have spoken, and we only want you to talk about Disney stuff, not this other nonsense.
Pentatonix who?
Yeah, no, enough with Ghost and Mariana Cross. What about Under the Sea? That's what I want to hear.
Hey, we'll hear that too.
What about Part of This World?
Oh, that's so good. What a fun show. This was
Yeah.
so good to be back at this, Chris.
Yes.
I know it was only a couple weeks of non-traditional listening, but it feels so
Yeah.
good to be back into our Monday routine.
Absolutely. And I do want to thank everybody for everybody who watched the live show where it was just me, because Amanda was a little under the weather at that
I
show. So
was.
thank you all for hanging in there and hanging out with me, and thanks to everybody who downloaded it and listened to that episode, because
Yes.
that was the first time I ever did a live episode like that by myself for that long, and I was like, okay, I'll do this.
You
And
did amazing.
so
You
thanks
did
everybody
your
for hanging out
talent.
with us. Yeah,
You're talented, Chris.
thank you. So if you want to hear what my top hard rock and metal picks were for 1983, my top 10 list, go back an episode, one episode, and listen to that, or watch it over on YouTube, or anywhere you get podcasts, all that stuff. So,
all the places.
Yeah, all the places. So, well, I guess that wraps it up for us, Amanda Sharp. Another great episode. So much fun hanging out with you as always. Thank you everybody for watching and listening today. Really appreciate you all who join us on the live show and get up early on Monday mornings at 8:15 a.m. to chill out with us and hang out and have fun. Of course, you can always watch the replays on YouTube or listen to us anywhere you get podcasts. Please make sure you hit that follow and subscribe button wherever you're watching or listening to the show, because it does help the show grow. It really, really does. Just taking the quick second and hit that follow or subscribe button does help the show grow. And of course, please feel free to leave us a review if you like what we're doing, or even better yet, call the Chris and Amanda Show hotline at 973-506-8009, 973-506-8009. Leave us a voicemail. Let us know how we're doing. Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? Are we all over the place? I don't know. Do you like Ghost? I know everybody has strong feelings about Ghost. Let us know. We want to hear from you. If you're calling outside of the United States, please don't forget to hit that +1, so that way, you can get in and leave us a voicemail. Absolutely. And we'll play it on the air, regardless of whatever it is you have to say. We'll play it.
That's right. Good or bad.
Good or bad. Good or bad. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Chris and Amanda Show. We will see you next week. Amanda Sharp, any final words?
just thank you all for listening. Thanks for being here. And it was a fun show, Chris. Have a great day.
All right. Rock and roll, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.